Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to another episode of Sapient Thoughts, where we discuss theophilosophical issues, where we answer the detractors of Islam, and we offer our own arguments for the veracity of Islam. Today, inshallah, we're going to be discussing a particular contention which some individuals who are anti-Islamic apologists try and put forward. It's actually two contentions in one which relate to the mountains, and what they say is the Quran in chapter number 16 verse number 15 and other places of the Quran, but this is one of the key verses. It says وَأَلْقَى فِي الْأَرْضِ رَوَاسِيَ أَن تَمِيدَ بِكُمْ, that He has placed in the earth mountains so that it doesn't swerve with you or quake with you or move with you and so on. And they say that this is unscientific, or it's against observable reality, and therefore it's something in the Quran which is incorrect. And the reason why they say this is on two counts. Number one, they say the word alqa in the Arabic language, they say it means a trajectory from downhill to uphill, from up to down trajectory. And so this, they say, is something which is not correct. Mountains don't fall into the earth like rain. So they have this kind of conceived image in their minds of an anthropomorphistic type Zeus god who's throwing mountains, and that's how he's furnishing the earth with mountains. And they say this is unscientific and is something which is mythological and so on. And they go into kind of embellished, exaggerated discourses about this. And the second thing they say is that antamida bikum, that the earth is moving so it doesn't move with you. Antamida bikum. And they say that the mountains don't cause stability on the earth. And therefore this is unscientific or unobservable or unreal. And so let's kind of counter both of these points. Number one, وَأَلْقَى فِي الْأَرْضِ رَوَاسِيَ أَن تَمِيدَ بِكُمْ. The word alqa does not necessarily mean from something, a downhill trajectory from somewhere up. Look at the dictionaries. I mean, these individuals, it really amazes me that they don't look at, the dictionaries before they actually make these comments. For example, look at Qamus al-Muhit, a very common classical dictionary, which Fairuz Abadi mentions in it, that the word alqa is like taraha or wada'a, to place or to situate. So there's no controversy, there. It doesn't necessarily mean a downhill trajectory. Who told you that it means that? Look at the Quran where it says, سَنُلْقِي فِي قُلُوبِ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا الرُّعْبَ. We will place, or in the hearts of those disbelievers, and it's talking about war here, terror. So does that mean that the terror is falling like rain into the hearts of this is ridiculous. And it's just illiteracy. This is what it is. It's grammatical and syntactical and semantical illiteracy, which forces them to these foregone misconceptions and stupid conclusions. So that's the first thing out of the way. The second thing now is this point that, is there an indication that the mountains are causing stability? Yes, that's a possible interpretation. I think a very plausible interpretation. Now, can we categorically say that geology has answered all questions relating to isostasy? No, because there has been isostasy and uplift and all those things which relate to stability or lack thereof of the earth and tectonic plates, and how mountains affect stability or once again or not. There has been change. If you look at the history of science, there has been change relating to how people have theorized and conceived these things. And it wouldn't be correct if I were to say this scientific fact or this particular geologist is saying X, and therefore X is absolutely true. In fact, there are some geologists and who write in peer-reviewed journal, like for example, Professor Mark van die Mejdi, who, I'm definitely pronouncing his name incorrectly, but who writes out of the University of Twente in Holland, and who says that mountains reduce quakes, and they create fewer quakes or move them to another area. This is in January 2020, by the way. Interestingly enough, like a year ago that this was produced. Shows you the transient, really, the dynamic nature of science. What are you going to say now? If tomorrow someone comes in a peer-reviewed journal and says something opposite than this guy, then someone comes after him. So at the end of the day, this is not hard and fast science here. You're dealing with a speculative science. And if it was not speculative, it wouldn't be so dynamic at the end of the day. It wouldn't have changed so much in the last 100 years relating to these topics. So I think that if you're trying to say that if we remove mountains from the face of the earth, that would have no impact on stability. This is a speculative statement. And how can you try and use such a weak and pathetic speculative statement to try and disprove a verse in the Quran. It's a really meager attempt and really a weak attempt. And unfortunately, you haven't even done the reading, because if you had, if you want to put the mantle on as a scientist, you would have known the peer-reviewed stuff that's out there and the newest, the most cutting-edge stuff that's out there, which clearly they don't know that stuff. So hopefully this answers the question, and I don't think there's anything more to be said. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.